That's right, people. Yes, you are now back in tonight. You're watching right now.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
You are now watching the time, the place. It is now. It is here. We're jamming right now with Michael Rust. Michael, this is a pleasure to have you here. You are an expert when it comes to chatbots, and let's face it, right now during this time, a lot of businesses are intrigued about chatbots at the moment, how they can work. And I'm going to be inviting in questions from you guys in the audience. This is your time as a part of being part of this group. It's a very beneficial part. So guys, get involved. If you like this, you feel that there's going to be a benefit to you, use Michael's services as well. He's here to help you. So Michael, let's take it away with yourself. You are the chatbot musketeer. Am I correct?
No, the marketeer, Haddy.
Marketeer. It was the way you
The chatbot
spelled it.
marketeer is what we're called. But you know, it's my pleasure to be here. I appreciate you inviting me this evening. So you know, I'll do what I can to help and give some plenty of information where I can for you and to the audience as a whole.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Michael. Where are you from?
Oh, where am I from? Okay, well, I live in the habitation of Milton Keynes, which is the home of the roundabouts. For any of you that sort of know the south of the country reasonably well, they actually say that, you know, a lot of they wonder if most people would actually be able to drive from one side of Milton Keynes to the other without realising that they've actually driven through a city, you know, I'm married. I've got two lovely girls. One's 16, and the other one's 9 years old. My oldest is just about to go to college this year, and a bit of a difficult time with the changes that the situation that we're all in at the moment that she's finding. And my youngest is has just gone back to the second from last year of her middle school. So fantastic, love them to bits, as you would any family man, and like myself would be in a similar position. But I've now been married just this week, actually, 21 years as my anniversary. With she who must be obeyed, as they say. And we've just come back from Greece, Crete, and Santorini in the last couple of weeks, just to get away for a break. We took the risk, and we've escaped the lockdown. So it's all worked out good, and I would certainly recommend that to anybody, especially that part of the world, if you get the chance to go in the next year or so. But me as a whole, coming back to your question, Haddy, was, you know, I've been around the block for a while. I have been in the financial services industry. I started many years ago in the insurance market, working for the well-known brands such as Allianz, and I've also worked with Policy Expert more recently. And further to the fact that things weren't going with the way that I wanted them to, I sort of ended up being self-employed. But I also had a background in marketing, so I sort of used what I'd learned to sort of look at several ideas. And I've sort of been very much like most people. One of the slogans that I work with is, you know, always have a plan B. You must have an alternative, because if the worst case happens, you know, what are you going to do? What's your next plan of action? And this year sort of has proven that considerably. As I said, I think that most people have found, you know, I really do feel right now for the thousands of people that are being made redundant, that have worked in the travel industry or the retail industry, that are sort of thought that they were doing reasonably well, although things were maybe a little bit more tricky recently than they should be, to find that the companies that they work with have disappeared overnight, near enough, because of the lockdown and the situation that's happened. So, you know, so I've been self-employed now for, as I said, about 10, 12 years, and I worked with I worked in network marketing for a long period of time, which was quite successful. Made a lot of money with that, which built a team that were fantastic. And even after I decided to give it up, they decided to carry on without me, which you know, a little bit of a legacy in some ways. But I decided to move on after 10 years and turn the corner into something else. And I ended up going into partnership, working for our courts. And what I did was sort of jump the fence from debt management and the insurance industry that I'd been working with to working with revenue protection.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, absolutely. A very interesting market. In fact, you know, unfortunately, there's some naughty people out there that decide that they don't want to pay their gas and electricity bills like you and me. They'd rather actually fiddle the meters so that it's not being billed, you know. And this is one of the things that I was trying to crack down on. So that was one area. And also, I did a little bit of debt collection as well. But that, unfortunately, came to an end on the 15th of March this year, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And the company that I was working in partnership said, well, we don't know what's going to happen, so we'll let you know. And that was it. I was sort of sitting at home twiddling my thumbs. But not being that sort of person, I decided to take an e-course that would be interesting, and taught myself through this e-course how to build messenger bots, because I think chatbots is probably a misconception. It's a little bit misleading in some ways, because they do so much more than just talk to people. But I taught myself messenger bots over a period of 2 months or so. And I've set up a company on that basis that will teach other people this technology, that we can either teach it to them in their own time from home, or we will build a fully responsive bot for them that will do the work for them. And that's come from some previous thinking, which I shall probably come back to in a little while. But it's been fantastic as a business, because this is supposed to now be the future, the next step on the internet for many companies. 80% of companies, I understand, are looking at this technology right now. And in the next 10 years, it's due to be at least a $9.6 billion industry. And I've already found that there's a huge market for it, specifically in America, where they take new innovations very quickly, and are probably more aware of it at the moment than we are here. But that's soon to become soon to change. And it will become the norm for most companies to have one of these messenger bots on their website, because that is going to be the way forward.
But that is, that is very true. And what we're seeing at the moment is email marketing versus messenger bot, or having that kind of messenger application out there. The click-through rates and the open up rates, 0.1% with email marketing versus 80% with messenger marketing. People
Absolutely,
actually see
100%. Yes, yeah. People just won't believe you. It is absolutely huge, absolutely huge. I mean, if you take email marketing, the principle of email marketing has been the norm for many, many years, since the internet first existed. And it's always been the case that you should build your email list over a period of time, because everybody has an email address. But nowadays, people just don't have, or find that they have even less time than they had originally. And to have 100 emails that you could send out from your list and get maybe one click through to your offer that you were putting out there, compared to a messenger bot, where, as you said quite rightly, you put out the same 100 messages to your list, and you will get a 82% response rate with a 23% click-through rate, which will give you a lower percentage cost per advert for whatever you're running or looking to offer to your customer base.
And that is definitely the case. And we've found, again, Facebook on Messenger has cracked down quite a bit in recent times. And what they've done is put in blocks, like, if you're messaging people on a daily basis, organically, again, I'm mentioning organically, then they may say, look, you're spamming people. And they'll block you for 24 hours, and then you can't message again. But I think people, gradually the technology is starting to improve, so that Facebook's starting to recognize, okay, what is messenger-based marketing, what is applicable versus what is spamming, and non-relevant. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with any industry now, there is a set of rules and compliance issues that you must follow, and we've come across this in emailing. We've got regulation and government guidelines on, as you said, spamming, sending emails. People have to opt into your list, and you have to prove that that is the case. Otherwise, there are huge fines that can be incurred. It's also crossed over to SMS marketing. So, that is also going to be the case where you're using, mobile phone numbers that you've got to send out text messages to your customer base. And again, even in the messenger market, I won't lie to you, we have compliance, but it's there more as a benefit to you. And it works actually more in our favor because of the way that it's set up. I mean, it is still a fairly new industry. You can keep in touch with your customer base. Because one of the things that you do get as an advantage on a bot is that as soon as somebody messages you, they are subscribed to your list, so you have them, and as I said, you can broadcast to them as long as you keep within a certain period of time. And any time they want to contact you, then you've obviously had a contact that you can respond to and continue to build. So your list is probably more active on that basis than you would get from either an email or an SMS marketing.
So why is
therefore works in your favour.
So why is email still being touted as the go-to at this moment in time?
Because this is what people have actually been used to, and I'm actually one of those people, I think myself, that I don't want to change, but with email, if you think about it, you want to send. So if you go to a website and they've got their email address on there, and you need to send them a message, then you've got no idea about how long it's going to take them to respond. But more importantly, you've got to actually think about what you need to ask them. You need to put a concise email together. Could take 15, 20 minutes, etc. And then send them the email, etc. But you've got no idea when they're going to get round to reading it and dealing with the issue that you have at hand. But this is the fact that people have been used to this, and there are still books being written even today about email marketing because everybody has an email address, and they can't see yet that there's another alternative answer. That the internet has moved on, technology's moved on, and as is always the way, things change, and this is the way forward, and will be, as I said, for the next 10 years.
So just, from the social media platforms that this is on, so we've got Facebook, which is the biggest one. LinkedIn has their version of Messenger. You've also got, hey, China, how you doing? I hope you're okay, girl. Thanks for the comment. She says it's very true, what we're actually talking about in terms of the marketing. Right, so you got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter with their direct messages, And you've also got Instagram as well with their DMs too. I think TikTok are building up something like that in the near future in terms of their inboxes and outboxes. So it's a brave new world at this moment in time. And I think chatbots, anyone who's done any kind of marketing or any kind of learning on how to market their website out or market out their social media profile, they've all been told you need to have a sales funnel. And chatbots are one of the best ways of setting up a good sales funnel where you do eliminate, I wasn't going to say time wasters, but people who may not be ready to buy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had an instance myself only a couple of days ago where that I have a busy day. Like most people, I'm tied up with all sorts of different aspects of my business, and it was coming up to 8 o'clock at night, and I'll be honest with you, I wanted to talk about a promo product for an option that I'm looking at the moment. And I contacted a company directly from their website, and their message came up and said, "We'll get back to you in 24 hours." But, 24 hours isn't any good to me. I'm waiting to get an answer there and then. It's the same with if you're ordering a product. It might be that you're interested in that product, but you have that one question, that just one item that you really want to know the answer to. I mean, maybe that you want to split the payment over a couple of months or so, and did they offer that, or can they do that for you, or does it come in a different color to what they're advertising on the website, or but they don't have that answer there, and there's nobody at 12 o'clock at night maybe that you could answer. But one of the great things about this, and one of the things that I have found is a positive that's come back from the people that we talk to regularly, is they love the fact that you can actually come in the morning and find maybe you've got a couple of orders waiting for you, from the product that they're selling online. Someone's actually, looked at the product, it's been advertised, you've showcased the item, the size, the reviews, all this information that can be put onto a bot. And then the bot actually will take a payment, and they just need to pack it up and send it out. It's a job done.
Yeah, no, that's true. And we've actually had a comment based upon that 24, 48-hour thing from China Grant, saying that she absolutely hates that 24, 48 hours turnaround time. And again, we've seen it all. Amazon as an example, when you message them, they send out an email saying, "Oh yeah, we'll look at it into," and it can be a generic message rather than something direct to address what you're doing. The app Wish, same thing. They're using Messenger and chatbots or Messenger bots to actually, please select which what's your problem, and then try and go through the funnel to do it as best as they can and address a person's questions.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
are they easy to set up to begin with?
Yes. I mean, we teach this technology. At the end of the day, as we said, this is the sort of thing that most companies will be using anyway. The problem is not everybody has the time. But I mean, if you're an individual at home and you do have the time, you could learn this. I mean, I said from the very beginning, I actually picked up this skill from learning it this year myself. Although I'm actually technology interested, so to speak, I'm not a technology geek. I mean, I've learned an awful lot in the last 2 years from my own experience of working with several entrepreneurs, online entrepreneurs. And this sort of came out of that in some ways. But, this is not really a technical skill. And we can teach you the basics of how to do it. We can give you templates that you can use to actually put a bot into place. And it's a skill that you can use, as long as you want to. You can either do it just for yourself, or you can actually do it for others. Once you know how to do it, as you said, you can actually benefit from it for, as long as you need to. And I think there's a demand out there, and I wouldn't say, I'm not that sort of person to say, well, I'm not telling you, it's a secret. It's not. It's not that I don't want to share. I think that people will want to learn this, but if you don't want to learn it, or you don't have the time because you're too busy, specifically in the financial services market that many of you are in, you want to run your business, you want to concentrate on doing the paperwork and making sure that you're compliant with everything else. So, we'll build what you want. You tell us how you want it, we'll design it around you, put it in place. At the end of the day, if you want a lead generation tool, then we can do it. If you want to have somewhere where people can go and ask questions 24/7, then we can put all the answers and questions on there for you with your bot, and that will deal with it all for you. But the other more important thing is that you have complete oversight. All the conversations that are going on, you can jump in at any point if you feel the necessary need to, and take that question or deal with that customer as you want to. So you're not restrictive to that. It's not the fact that once it's running, it's stuck in a cycle. It's fully responsive, and that's what we teach. If they want to talk to a human, we try and find a fine line between not being robotic and how can I help you, or what do you need. We want it to be more interactive, and more very much the fact that it's there as a tool for you to use to build your business, which is the whole point.
Now, if you guys are enjoying the content, whether you're watching this on the replay or if you're watching it live, please let us know. If you've got any questions, again, Michael is here to help on that one. Now, Michael, just out of interest, so the biggest issue that people have with learning online is it's not a classroom environment where you can access the teacher. Sometimes you're having to rewind, see what is going on, try and decipher what the teacher's saying. Let's say a YouTube tutorial video on things like, I don't know, PowerPoint, or WordPress, or cookies, as an example. And you're thinking, wait a minute, I got to watch this like 15 times to get this right. Are you teaching, of course, right now at this point in time, everything's all locked down, and the government's just recently announced 6 people max in any particular place, either indoor or outdoor, coming in from the 14th of September. It's how are you going to be teaching this? Is it basically like a virtual online thing? Is it a webinar based, or is it you just doing this like this? Over
we do it as we do it with a PowerPoint slides, and we have a module based system which is actually split into 5 different modules, and we may expand on that as the technology improves and continues to change. But whether it's setting this, module 1 would be setting the system up, setting yourself up with an account, and for the platform that you need, how to hook it up to your Facebook or website page, the details, the basic details for your default message, all that sort of thing would be covered in module 1. Module 2 would be the more basic, would be the next step up, which would then take you to learning let me think. So how to do how to put flows in on your messages, and how to build, how to respond to your customers, how to put in photographs and the items that you want to include for your bot. And then module 3 may be promotion, how to sort of get put ads out there on Facebook to start building your lead generation, how to actually start to get responses to your bots, that sort of thing. So it's taken bit by bit, and we sort of try and focus each module on one aspect of building your bot. So it depends on what you actually want from it. I mean, if you don't need an appointment system, for example, if you're not a restaurant, Although in the financial services market, you probably will want an appointment system. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you don't need it, then you don't need to learn that part of the module until you can come back to it at another time. It's always going to be there for you.
Okay. And China again has asked a question. China, thanks for this. I really appreciate this. China's asked, are you paying per module, or is it pay for all of it together as a whole course?
No, we include the course. Is actually it's a complete course. So we actually have included everything that you could possibly need, and you can work through it at your own pace. So we're not just going to say, well, we're going to drip feed it to you, or you're going to have to pay for this bit. We're not dangling a carrot in front of you. It's a complete course that you can do at your own time. And work your way through. So some people work at different paces to others. So if you want to do it in the space of a week, absolutely fantastic. You're going to get a lot out of it. But if you take it over a longer period of time, then you're probably going to take a lot more in. Take it a lot slower. Sort of re-watch the videos and then do what it's requesting, the action points that are needed to actually take it further from there. But the more important thing is that you must do something. It's not a case of press this, do that, whatever, but we try and make it as easy as possible. At the end of the day, we understand that most people aren't technology based. If you're, we're all specialists in our own individual fields. And if you've not dealt with this type of technology before, then we try and make that as easy as we can, and understand exactly where you're coming from, because we want you to learn it in the best possible way. And you can always come back to the actual individual video if you misunderstand, or even ask us questions. We're only at the end of a website message, or a phone, or an email. Believe it or not, we still use those, but but at the end of the day, yes, absolutely, we're not going to just say, well, there we go, there's your course, get on with it. It's not that. We're not that sort of a company. At the end of the day, I believe 100% in customer service personally, and I think that a lot of people have actually come to that place where you have contacted a company, you've bought a product, and they don't want to know you after that. But I'm not like that. I think, I believe in the saying, the customer's always right. That's not necessarily always the case, but the bottom principle of it is that, at the end of the day, if the customer's not happy, then I'm not happy. And I would rather that we actually provide you with something that you can use, rather than just say, well, I've got your money now, that's it. It's so the choice is yours. We will either show you how to build these over a period of time, questions and answers, or we will actually build it for you. You tell us what you need, what parts of it, and you can expand on it. It's a flexible system. It's not set in stone. So and people will find that for themselves.
And this is amazing. Apart from the little issues with bandwidth that we're all experiencing at the moment, don't forget, people, marketing is an overall method of communicating. So whichever method you use, whether it's email or whether it's chatbots or whether phone call, again, still down to you. It's a extension of yourself. So that's what you got to remember. From my point of view, it's the first thing that a person will actually react to in terms of your service is how you communicate with them. So chatbots are definitely, from my sort of perspective, having used them in the past, really phenomenal. Compared to email marketing, again, email marketing has its place. It's got its place when it comes to things like reminding people, look, this, your mortgage is coming due, those kinds of things. So let's stay in contact. Let's do this. Let's do that. Get these things ready. So it has its place in the world. Messenger, on the other hand, has another place, which is phenomenal, because you can literally tap into a market almost immediately. As long as they open up their messenger. Most people, if they get a message, it's like BlackBerry Messenger. You'll get a ping. you'll know that someone's trying to contact you, and then you will see the messenger itself, and you decide whether you want to open it or not. So there's a lot more security as well, because
Yeah,
very
absolutely. As I said,
few.
I think
Well,
I
everyone's
agree
saying
with
this
you on
through
that,
chatbots. You
Hadi.
don't get
So
viruses. Yeah, through chatbots though, you don't get viruses, do you?
no,
At
no,
this
no,
moment in time.
no viruses. Not yet. No, no, no. Absolutely. I mean, I mean, the problem we've got today in today's climate is, I think that we have changed as a country. I mean, you look at things around you and you notice these things gradually. And as we said earlier, people have, and everybody has an email address. But nowadays, it's the fact that people all have, and I reach for mine, one of these. You know,
Yeah.
this is the norm. You know, it sits in your pocket, sits in your back pocket. If you're she who must be obeyed, it's permanently glued to your hand. You know, we go out to dinner, it's on her hand. You know, Facebook's permanently open. Just got to catch up with this message. You know, dot dot dot. You know, it's always pinging and beeping and this is the great thing about messenger bots, is that it will deal with all that for you without you having to interject. And your business is always open, and it can be if that's what you want. And it's just up to you about how you want it to work and what you think is going to be best for you, because it is your business, so you've still got full control.
Again, this is a very valuable moment, you know, to have someone like you here that can help to explain for every kind of profession, you know, because in this group, thankfully, it's not mortgage advisors. You know, we've got photographers, IVA experts, so debt, you know, insolvency practitioners, got accountants, we've got, I think, a lawyer as well. So we've got the width and breadth of different professions in here, and you know, and what we can then do is, you know, everyone's going to have their own way of doing things, from, you know, a sole person, a single sole trader, to, you know, a small medium-sized company, even large company owners. They're all going to be looking at this technology because it's far more cost effective than anything out there. If you're writing any kind of adverts, you're going to get more click-through rates, you're going to get more open up rates, far more effective in that sense. You're going to get your message out there a lot quicker and much more able to be responded. Now, we have had, again, China message us again. Again, thank you, China. You know, you're really making this a wonderful evening tonight, which is, yeah, we have your dollar bag next, please. I'm not sure what that actually means, but how may supported languages? So I'm pretty sure what she means by that is, in terms of languages, do you have more than one language that you can use on Messenger as a chatbot? And, you know, I'll let you answer that one.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks, Hadi. I appreciate that.
Before I get carried away.
You're welcome to if you want to. I think. I mean, just coming back to your point, I think the question that you referred to a moment ago is, yes, we have your pound next, please. That was referred to my comment as regards to the fact, I understand, you know, that once we've got your money, you know, who's next? You know, we're not interested in answering any questions or dealing with any inquiries or any problems that you have. We've got your money. We're not interested anymore. And as I said, that is not something that we do and won't do. It's not at all. So, take my word for that. I know that people don't know me personally, but at the end of the day, I'm not like that. I've had it. It's happened to me. I understand where people are coming from, and it is very, very annoying. And at the end of the day, if you pay for something, you want what's owed to you. So anyway, so coming back to the next question, you said how many supported languages. I'm not sure I know the answer to that, but I would guess that we're using the Facebook platform, sorry, the Messenger platform, and if it's actually available in the country that you're in, then obviously the language base that you're working in is should be suitable to program it exactly the same. And the keyboard that you're using, if you are of in China, for example, then I'm sure that you'll be able to do the same. It's not a coded language. It is a it is a physical reactionary language, and what I mean by that is it's conversational. So if your keyboard is in a different language to English, then it shouldn't be a problem to do. And so if you want to learn that, then you can do it. And I'm guessing that that whoever's answered the question, obviously they understand English, but if you want to actually use it for another language, as in Chinese, then it shouldn't be a problem. So I hope that answers the question that was intended.
Yeah, I think that does. And it is quite intuitive as a platform. Facebook is really intuitive. We've also had Mr. Abdul Malik. Thank you. How you doing, Mr. Malik? I hope you're okay. How are you best contacted? Is it through Facebook? Is it through a website? Is it better to phone you?
Whichever, really. I mean, at the end of the day, we have a website, we have a Facebook page. It's been really annoying today. Our Facebook page has actually been running a campaign, and I've actually had over 150 likes to my Facebook page today.
Nice.
And it's one of these. I mean, even as I'm sitting here, even now, it's actually I've got little messages come up on the left hand side of my window saying, such and such a person has liked your page, or such and such has commented on your page, and I can't keep up. As I said, the technology is just, it's just phenomenal, and it's the interest is, it is one of those things that we are trying to keep building, because the demand is there for these at the moment, and it's just going to get busier. So that's another thing. People that actually do learn this are going to have another skill that they can then turn to actually do it if they want to at any point in the future. But yes, I mean, if you want to, you can contact us on our website. You can send me a personal message. You can, you've got any questions, etc. I'm more than happy to answer them. I will, I will do what I can. I am actually in the process of trying to build my redo the bot for our website at the moment. We've got one on one of the other businesses that I run, but we have got to try and put another bot in place for our current website or Facebook page, which it doesn't have at the moment, which is a crime for the reason that I do. And the reason for that is quite straightforward. It's more to the case of, do I do one for the business purpose of just dealing with customers' inquiries, or do I do one that's actually going to show you the benefits of having a chatbot on your business and the capabilities that it actually offers? So it is a question of what do you do for the best. But there are plenty of demos on our website, which is chatbotmarketeer.com, which I think is actually on Hattie's page. And tell me if I'm wrong, Hattie, but I'm sure that I put that on Hattie's page. So if you want to, yeah. So, but I mean, we do them for every industry, and we have done, for anything from estate agents to gyms to retail shops, restaurants. Absolutely
Typical.
anyone whatsoever. Could you hear my phone? You can hear my phone. Someone's phoning me now.
This
is
really,
probably because of this.
I did tell you that something like that was going to happen. And again, as this is live, guys, if you've been tuning in regularly, this always happens. Something takes place during the live. It's going so well. We've had a dog, we've had children, we've had the interview. So it's always nice having these kinds of things, because it shows that we're human beings. This isn't the studio. We're doing, me personally, I want to give every member here of my group an extra value to add to their business. And again, what best way to add value to the business than introducing people that can actually help your business, that you can access those customers and make sure that you can capture a little bit more extra money just by tuning in. Why not? It's the best thing from me to give back to everyone that's put their support and faith into this group. So thank you, guys. And again, Michael, thank you for doing this. Now, let me ask you one big question, because you did say that you've done this during the lockdown. It took you 2 months. Why did you choose chatbots messenger bots over.
I
over
often ask
the,
myself this.
but there must have been something. Yes, this is it. This is
This
it.
is it. Okay. I didn't cover this. Right. Okay. Right. Well, it's a strange story. I actually, I about 10, 15 years ago, I come up with, I have these ideas. I mean, a lot of us actually have these bright sparks. You sort of wake up and you think, that's a fantastic idea. I think I'm going to do that. And, it's got to that point these days where I actually have a little black book and I write these things down, because if I don't, I forget. But about 10, 15 years ago, I came up with this idea of actually starting a virtual assistant business. And the reason for that is that I thought, quite rightly, that people such as trades and consultants and services, whatever, would prefer to have some form of assistant to help them, because they're out doing their business. You've got an electrician out for the day. He's concentrating on fixing people's electrics, or a plumber that needs to do the work that's actually needed to get done. And the only person that's actually dealing with his admin is probably his partner, his wife, at home. And if she goes out, or she's working, has to work, or looking after the kids, picking up the kids from school, then the phone's just ringing and you don't get an answer when you're trying to book a plumber or a technician, or get your appointment with a financial advisor, etc. IVA, to get it sorted. So consequently, you need something or someone to deal with that inquiry, so that you know that it's been resolved for you, and take the messages. And a virtual assistant service was actually the way that I thought at the time would resolve that. But as we've said, as you can probably see, that the whole thing has come full circle now, and messenger bots are the answer to this question, because everybody's, because these people will now have the mobile phone, as we said. Where's mine? Oh, here we go. Right, so mobile phone, and consequently, you can send your message to Messenger Bot. Messenger Bot will take the details, book the actual appointment by showing you the availability that the plumber's got, or your consultant. And consequently, you could book an appointment and job done, so it's all resolved. And if they have any questions, then they can contact you a little bit later when they get home, maybe at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and resolve those. But it doesn't mean to say that they don't stop what they're doing. They're dealing with their customers, they're dealing with what they need to do, and the life continues as you would expect. So that's the reason, really, why I sort of did that. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And again, it's capturing the clients when they're red hot. That's the biggest principle behind it. They've made the contact with you. Something's pushed them to go that direction. So you don't want to lose them. They're red hot. If they have 2-3 hours without that contact, unless it's overnight, of course, then what happens is they cool down, and it's a lot harder to get them to feel, yes, I would like to do business with you. Talking about business, I've just had Abdul Malik say Miss Malik, he will be in contact with you. And when we were talking about business as well, yeah. And he's also said, in terms of just general advice, if businesses don't understand chatbots, then right now they're not totally fully aware of how to leverage and grow. And to a certain degree, that's true. The issue with chatbots is, again, like what I was saying earlier on, email is the dominant way of doing things, because that's what's been the most older form of communication in that sense. So people, before it was the telephone, get on the phones, you got to get on the phones. Then it became send out an email, get the emails out. Now, only recently, it's become messenger bots, chat bots, because of so many new things, as the way of doing business has changed from face to face, over the phone, to now virtual. And we've seen that with lockdown.
Yes.
How many people?
Absolutely.
How many people? The figures are there. Tesco's, they grew their business, their online business grew from 9% to 14% during the lockdown period. That translated into, I think, 15 no, not 15 billion, but something like, it was over the £1 billion mark in terms of revenue generated from online shopping. That's forced them to recruit more staff, 16,000. Amazon has, their business grew exponentially over the lockdown period. They've now had to recruit 5,000 warehouse workers, and they open up more warehouses, as well as recruiting delivery drivers and so on and so forth. So it has become a huge shift in mentality as well on how to do business. And right now, the government's trying to get people back in to a physical office environment. Most people are still scared to
absolutely. It's crazy. It really is. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, chatbots, I mean, as we refer to them commonly, has sort of been around for a while. It's not directly new. It's been around for maybe a couple of years. But the reason it came into existence is more to the case that it's a spin-off from the text messaging service that you have on your phone. So, when you first, if you remember, your mobile phone, when it first came out, they were just literally mobile phones. We've gone from the bricks to the little tiny little things that we have these days, which do so much more. But originally they were just mobile phones to keep in contact with the office or the home or whatever, as and when's needed. And then they introduced the texting service, which people didn't think would take off, and then became addictive. And so many people were sitting there with their thumbs and and chatbots were a little bit similar. They sort of came out of that because they found that people are better to respond. But by using a push button system, choosing options on your phone, which is easier to do than actually sitting there writing texts. So it makes it even quicker. But chatbots, as I said, that we refer to them, they were designed to answer customers' questions. If you've got, say, 5 customer service personnel in your business, and you've got, say, 40 or 50 calls coming in at any point, then you've got to try and automate where you can. And the chatbot was then designed to sort of answer questions and start to build up a relationship with your customer before a human operative could actually jump into the conversation and take it over to deal with the customer's questions and possibly even sell them a product or get something answered or whatever they needed to do, whatever the purpose of the business was. So this is the reason why they called chatbots more commonly than probably messenger bots, which is probably a more accurate term than that.
Which is really, really fascinating on all of those levels. Jack Tomlins has just joined in. Jack, it's been so long. Where have you been? Hi, Jack. I hope you're doing really well. And I hope that you're enjoying the content that you're listening to at the moment. Guys, if you're enjoying this, please give us a like. Let us know that you're there. Mr. Malik has actually come out and said a very valid point. Facebook now owns WhatsApp as well as Instagram. And like we mentioned right at the beginning, there's so many different ways that you can actually apply chatbots onto the various different levels, from websites to Instagram to LinkedIn Messenger. They've all got a position that you can actually add in a chatbot. So what we're heading towards for Messenger, for all 3 integrated platforms, this is going to be huge. And that is very true. If you're sharing out via your mobile phone at the moment, anything, you're going to see an option that used to be shared to your page, shared to a group, shared to your story. Now you share on Messenger. Now you've also got shared to WhatsApp. That's integrated on the phones now.
Yes,
and that's also
yeah.
on.
I mean, as I said, I was actually going to tell people this. I mean, at the end of the day, WhatsApp is going to be the next platform. It's it's a bit of a secret at the moment, but we will be there with when the templates are available to use WhatsApp. To actually introduce bots to WhatsApp, to the WhatsApp platform. So you're talking about at least 2 of the most commonly used communication tools on this planet that are going to be able to use messenger bots, which is going to be huge. I mean, if you look at internet revenue, I don't have the figures to hand at the moment, but WhatsApp and Facebook and Messenger are within the top 5, I think, internet companies that are actually out there in regards to revenue at the moment. So, because of the amount of users that are involved, so, you think of the reach that your business could possibly have by using these bots in your business, and the platforms that they're going to be available on. It's absolutely phenomenal.
That reminds me, actually, just for the future, what we're seeing at the moment with Google, because Google have up their game as well. So we've already had Google Analytics. You hear about Ariba. You've got Google Tag Manager out there. So this is going a little bit more technical at the moment. It's much more SEO orientated, search engine optimization, or SEM, search engine marketing orientated. Is there going to be a way of integrating messenger bots with, let's say, Google Assistant? If you guys don't know how to use Google Assistant, basically you press the home button and hold it, and literally Google Assistant can do anything for you, even pretend to be, someone ordering a pizza and have that sort of AI interaction over the phone with a pizza delivery company. If you don't believe me, see the CEO. I can't remember the guy's name, Arjun something now. But the CEO was demonstrating how Google Assistant has evolved to, for this AI to become that good. Not Terminator-esque, but really that good. So catch that on YouTube. It's fascinating. But do you feel that chatbots or messenger bots are going to be able to integrate with the biggest search engine platform out there?
I haven't heard, to be honest with you, Hadi, I haven't heard anything as regards to Internet Google. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, at the end of the day, what normally happens, as you may know yourself, is that, if one of the platforms or a couple of the platforms that are doing something, that they don't want to be left behind. It's not something that, if there's money to be made from an option that they're not doing, then they will actually, they will follow suit. And so I don't rule it out at all. But it is not something that I'm aware of at the moment that's actually due in the near future. As I said, I think WhatsApp's going to be the next one. And again, I don't know when, but they are due. They have already expressed an interest in this, and it's therefore going to be one of the next ones on.
Well, we're already seeing what's happening with TikTok at the moment in certain countries, them being banned. And like what you said, the other platforms will use that as an opportunity to get their product out. And Instagram has done it with their stories, but they've done their version of TikTok. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head now, but it's actually quite interesting seeing how things are moving at the moment. Guys, we've got 9 minutes left. So if you've got a question, you got a comment, for Michael, feel free, put it in. We're going to try and answer as much as we can. Little thing, you're going to like this, Michael. You may not know this. You've only just met me recently, but I'm also part of the professional wrestling industry in the UK. Yeah, and my character's name is the Tycoon. And again, British wrestling's recently gone through a little bit of a transition because, again, lockdown and not having a lot of people in there. We've got an event coming up. It's a streamathon event. It's no audience will be in there. It'll be coming up on the Saturday, the 26th of September. It's for Entertainment Wrestling Association. I will share the links out there. But the funny thing is, when I was getting out there, I do it as a professional wrestling manager. I'm not an in-ring talent, so for me, it's a lot harder to get in. But I use messenger bots for capturing promoters. In other words, if a promoter messaged me, to know that I'm there and I'll respond back to them, there was a ping straight away to the promoter. They knew I was there, and I'll be talking to them almost immediately, and they'll follow up. So they weren't left in the lurch. They knew that something was there. So I can attest to how good messenger bots are. And again, incorporating that into the mortgage business. No, I incorporate that into the mortgage business is actually really quite useful. But again, it's having that sales funnel in place that you want to make sure you capture the right people, not the wrong people for your particular business. And again, it's not paid advertising, like what I was saying. Paid advertising, if it's pay per click, you know your competitors will be clicking on your adverts. Whereas with Messenger bot, that isn't going to be happening.
No, I mean, one of the things that you do get as a benefit as well with messenger bots is the fact that anybody that responds to you, you know, if they contact you, is that they automatically get subscribed to your list. So you are always building your list, you know. And the other thing is they're following through the messenger in your system. You can tag them. So, for example, you know, they can if you offer a range of different services. And I'll take an example from something else that we've recently done. We deal with an awful lot of estate agents, real estate agents, especially recently, and you know you can put tags in there that you've got a person who's interested in property, who's looking for property to refurbish, renovate. That has a budget of X amount of money, that has an interest in properties in a particular type of postcode area. You know, you can put all these tags in to build up that interest, so that when you've got something available that you could offer your customer, that you've got an idea that they have a budget of that amount and they are available and they're looking for property that you have to offer them. It makes it so much easier to do that. So as you said, Facebook Messenger is brilliant for that, and I understand where you're coming from. As you say, it's you know, for you to keep in contact, you know, but it's the choices is
Infinite.
you know, I mean, never ending.
Infinite, absolutely infinite, and it's a fantastic tool out there that I strongly recommend people should at least look at. You know, the figures speak for themselves. You know, and I'll finish on this point again, which were the stats are there. Email marketing, 0.1% click-through rate and open-through rate. So you can set, you know, you may have signed up onto something on Facebook for an offer, and then you get loads of emails coming through almost on a daily basis, different points, different things that they're putting out there. You may not have the chance to actually read through all of those emails or any of those emails, but Messenger have a chance to actually read through Messenger. I'll have a chance to click the link and go through to a video, or go through to a special live event, or go through to something. That's fantastic. It is really, really worth it. Why have I not applied it here? It will be applied. Don't worry, guys. I've now got your details. Sorry, I'm kidding. Sorry, that's the evil tycoon coming out in me. And Mr. Marley,
It was a bit evil, actually, Hedy. It was very evil.
Yeah, thank you for that. Just getting into character. Mr. Malik, I'm not a wrestler. I'm a professional wrestling manager. There's a big difference there. I don't get to do the dirty work. Someone else does it for me. I pay them for that. That's the whole intention of this. But in the meantime, how can people contact you, Michael? What's the email?
They can contact me. I will. Yeah. As I said, I will. As I said, the link, I will paste the links back onto your page, Hedy, underneath under this broadcast, when you post it back into the group and make it available so that people can contact me as and when, even if it's just a question. You know, if you've got a concern about the fact that you want to start looking at learning, or whether you have a query about messenger bots, then more than happy to sort of try and see if we can answer that for you and sort of point you in the right direction where we can. But I do hope that some of you will actually join us, either to learn or have bots for yourself, because the sooner you get one, the sooner your business is going to grow. As I said, 80% of businesses are right now looking at having a chatbot on their website or Facebook page, and it was going to be huge. So I've studied this market for several months, and know where it's leading. It's really exciting. It's really exciting.
It is. Guys, take full advantage of Michael's knowledge, expertise, guidance, and more importantly, if you do decide to use it and integrate into your business, whether you do it off your own back and learn it as a skill, or employ Michael in terms of his leveraging ability, so you free up time to deal with clients, all of it is worth it, you know. So, you know, so on that note, guys, my God, the phone's blowing up. Okay, right. So on
I
that
know
note,
they're phoning me already.
yeah, Michael is
Just before
extremely
I go,
busy.
if anybody's interested,
Oh yeah, of
I've
course.
actually written a book. I actually wrote a book. Yeah, yeah. And I was just going to plug my book if that's okay, Hattie. So, I mean, this is actually another book that's actually helpful. Yeah, this is 50 easy business hacks that will increase your sales today, which is some of the things that I've learned in the last couple of years, which again is available on Amazon. So, you know, I don't know if you can see that quite clearly enough.
I
As I
can.
said,
And
it's a
what
bit
I'll do,
difficult
I'll
to.
get the link from Amazon and I'll put it into the group so that people can purchase it as well as onto my website, which is
Fantastic. As I said, so
almost
yeah,
finished
so
developing. Sorry, guys, the website's almost finished developing. So, on that note, don't forget tomorrow I am doing my Facebook Live. We're revisiting the protection market, life insurance, redundancy cover, all those things because of what's going on right now in the environment, what we've got with coronavirus. Where do people stand? So, it's going to be interesting. Private medical insurance, they're going to be going through the roof because people are now really concerned about if the NHS is going to be able to cope with the demand that's going to be on the NHS. We've already seen it with what's going on at the moment when it comes to testing, how many people are not getting tested at the moment. So, guys, make sure you tune in on that. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You know, my Facebook Lives are really good and informative. So please, you know, give it a like, give it a share. And in the meantime, thank you so much for joining in tonight, guys. We have also got one special announcement. We've hit 400 members of this group now. That's all down to you guys. Have a great evening. Michael, thanks for joining me again tonight. And, you know, take care of yourselves. Have a great evening. See you later. Bye. Oh, wrong button, wrong button. Oh, wait. Oh, that's it. Sorry. Bye.